Hey, welcome back to another episode of Cynthia Untamed. This is your youthful and educational platform. If you didn't check out my video on Generation Unlimited updates in terms of winners and access to the internet, please do check it out. I will leave it in the description bar below or leave it somewhere above here. So also check it out and do tell a friend to tell a friend. So, as you may already know, or if you do not know this, I amplify the stories of young change makers in Africa on a digital platform called CynthiaUNTAMED.com. Now, one of the ways that I'm able to empower young people through this is giving young people visibility. Because as a young person, what I've realized is that sometimes many of us are doing great work in the community, but nobody knows, nobody cares. And I know we live in that society where we are told, no, be humble, do not be proud, do not show off. Yes, I get the whole aspect of being humble, being kind, all those good things that we human beings are supposed to aim for. But also there's another side of the coin that society sort of refuses to tell us, is that when you do not talk about your achievements, people will not talk about it. And when you do not sell yourself, then you will not get opportunities. And I keep telling people, and I usually say it like a joke, opportunities go to those who already have opportunities. Let me give a simple analogy. In Kenya, or rather in Africa, many of us are not rich. We're just from either normal families, or many others are poor, basically living below $1 a day. And one of the ways that these people get to succeed is either like through talent or through education. Let me give an example of education. So we have a poor child from Turkana, from Bungoma, from wherever, even here in Nairobi. They do not have opportunity. They come from a very poor family. But because they are really smart, they go to school, they score really well, like they're really, really smart. They get a scholarship from the Equity Wings to Fly program, KCB Foundation, wherever. They get to go to Alliance or Kenya High or Starehe or Mangu, Maranda, wherever. Some of them even go to international schools. Like, you remember Goldalyn Kakuya, the young girl from Kakamega. She scored really well and managed to get Margaret Kenyatta scholarship, went to Brookhouse. So you see, then they go to high school, international schools, Kenyan schools, wherever. Then they excel again. Then what happens? Equity comes again, gives them a scholarship to go to University of Nairobi, some university here in Kenya, or even better, they get to go study abroad through Equity programs or MasterCard Foundation programs. One of these scholarships, Rhodes, anything, Chevening, they go. Then what happens? Because they're really smart and they're excelling really well, they come back, they get a good job, or they're able to start a good business. Then they start thriving, they start getting opportunities. Then what happens is that this person who was initially poor, they get their own children at some point, or they adopt. Then they're able to give their children a better future. And then because these children have a better future, chances of them even doing much better are much higher. Then they succeed, and then the next generation goes on and on like that. And you'll realize that at some point, then the poverty gaps start going down. And we're talking about ending poverty, that becomes a reality. So that is an analogy that I wanted to use, which is why I keep talking about Cynthia Untamed and why it's important for you as a young person to talk about your achievements. Because sometimes you're in the local village right now, there's COVID and kids are not in school. You're there, you're very energetic, ensuring that the small children don't miss out on school. So you go teach them basic numeracy, basic skills. And then what happens? You just continue living the same life because nobody knows the work that you're doing. Whereas someone else who is doing something similar gets opportunities, they get funding, they get to travel to the US, they get to meet presidents, I don't know what happens, and many other things, because their work is visible, which is why I really believe in giving visibility to the stories of young people. Now, I'm not the most famous person, but I believe that with the kind of platform that I have, the few followers I have, okay, they're not few, they're actually many, 8,000 on Instagram and a couple on Twitter. Those people are able to open doors for other young people like me. So recently I was thinking about how I can grow my work and especially through partnerships, because there are people who have bigger platforms. Now I'm very careful when it comes to partnerships, because when it comes to a partnership, you need to sync really well. You can't just partner with anyone and everyone, and that is something that I learned through the hard way. Sometimes you'll partner with someone, then you start a project, then you never finish, or you get involved in someone else's project, then you never get to do yours, and many other things. Perhaps I should do a YouTube video on that later on. But I saw Opportunity Desk. If you guys are not familiar with Opportunity Desk, it is a platform that bridges the information gap that exists. You see, there I've told you opportunities come to those who have opportunities. So sometimes you're looking for a scholarship, or you want to attend a conference, a job, you know, you're looking for especially opportunities, not necessarily jobs, but opportunities like attending conferences, pitching, going for a webinar, some funding, and you just don't know where to look. And I discovered this page by chance. I think this was 2015, Christmas of 2015. And that is when I had begun like getting exposed. And I used to meet like young people like me who were in first year, who were traveling, doing incredible things. They were already top 40, under 40. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I used to wonder, where do these people get opportunities? So guys, I just Googled opportunities for Africans, opportunities for young people, opportunities, you know, those keywords. And this website, Opportunity Desk, just came up. You know, that's how Google works. You Google, then they bring you suggested pages, then you click on a couple of things and you discover something. So that's how I found Opportunity Desk, just like that by chance. So I saw like they had a lot of opportunities. I think Opportunity Desk has been there since 2012. And in 2012, I was in Form 3. So that was a long time. If I was seeing this in 2015 there, then it means like opportunities had been there for a while. And I just saw all these things. I was like, why didn't I ever see this website early in life? Like, why didn't I even see it just immediately when I finished Form 4? I would have applied for lots of things. Anyway, I don't live when we regret. So I told myself I'll start applying. So when I started applying for things, many of those things I used to apply for, I never even used to get feedback. You apply, then your application just goes into a vacuum or something. You don't get feedback. You don't get thank you for your application. You basically don't get anything. In short, you've applied and your application has disappeared like that, like magic. But at some point, I just said, I won't even apply for these things. They don't work. And then I don't remember what happened. I think something just triggered me. I do not remember the circumstances. Then I searched again. Then when I searched, when I opened the page, I think this was 2018. Must have been 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. I just opened the website again. Then I saw this conference that was going to happen in South Africa. It was called Seedbeds of Transformation, and it was all about sustainable development goals. And it was very scientific, by the way, very all about science. And I'm not a scientist. I studied law. I studied all the social sciences thingies, so I do not know much science. Anyway, I was just like, okay, but it's about sustainable development goals. And by then I had developed like an interest in SDGs and all that, because I was doing the Kenya Model United Nations and we were introduced to sustainable development goals. So I applied because I saw that it would be funded. They would fund their flight, accommodation and meals. And that was, for me, when I travel, that is usually the most important thing. Accommodation and flight. If I have those two, if I just have those two, I know pocket money is a plus. Like if they give you a stipend, that's a plus. But at least if I have accommodation and a flight, because you see, if you have accommodation and a flight, it means you will not go to another country and sleep on the street. And also it means you will be able to actually get to that country in the first place. Then at this level, I'm usually like, shopping is not really a priority. I don't have to go to South Africa and go to Sandton. If you've been to South Africa, you know there's a place called Sandton where all the fancy, nice things are. I do not know any other place in South Africa, Johannesburg there. But when you go to those countries, sometimes you just want to shop. But I'm usually like, even if I don't have money to do shopping, if I can just get to that event and have food to eat and somewhere to sleep and at least the flight, I'm usually okay. So I saw this opportunity. it didn't have a stipend, but it had meals, and accommodation and flight. So those are the most important things. And then I checked like the distance from the venue of the conference to the distance of the hotel was a walking distance, and they would actually provide transport for a 5-minute bus ride. So me, I was like, this place, I'll just survive. So me, I applied, and luckily they got back to me and they said, hi Cynthia, you applied for this thing and we're giving you full funding, or rather sort of partial funding, flight and accommodation. And that was I think that was the first opportunity I got through Opportunity Desk. Now when I got that opportunity, I realized, this website is actually legit. It is, in as much as I was applying for other things and they were not giving me feedback. I think that what is to blame is the other company and not necessarily this, and not Opportunity Desk. So after I went to South Africa, guys, after that I started applying for everything, everything relevant. So from jobs to internships to funding to conferences to webinars, to literally anything that I could apply to that was related to my kind of personality and the kind of work that I do. So anything related to blogging and anything related to communications, things related to sustainable development goals, things related to law, things related to advocacy, basically anything around the issues that I deal with, I usually just applied. I just kept applying. And actually I managed to travel a few other times, and I also managed for some opportunities, I managed even to get callback interviews, managed to get to the finalist stage and all that. So what I liked about this website is that it puts all the opportunities together, all of them. And I'm not saying all the opportunities are there in this world, they're on that website, but at least there are many that you can actually filter through and see. So this year, or rather I think for a couple of years right now, they've been running a challenge known as Opportunity Desk Challenge, and basically they ask young people to share how Opportunity Desk has impacted them, and then they also share the work that they do, and then they're shortlisted to 12, and then the 12 go through a voting process from the public, and then the best 3 are chosen. So that's how it goes. That way the website gets to reach more people, the platform, and also you're able to gauge how many people are being impacted. And also these winners, they don't just go empty-handed, they get some little cash. So what they do is that they partner with other organizations that can give us some cash, like some seed funding or some little bit of training. Maybe there's that course on social behavior change that you've really been wanting to do, and it's 500 USDs from Harvard. So they give you something like that, something that will train you, something that will benefit you. And as a young person, for me personally, when I get those opportunities, it's usually such a big deal. Even if it's not money, just basically an opportunity that can enable me to travel, an opportunity that can enable me to improve my CV, an opportunity. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. So that's what it provides. So this year they also had a call out for partners, and for me I felt like, wow, I think this would really synergize well with the kind of work that I do through CynthiaUNTAMED.com. So I amplify stories, but guys, I cannot give you money. I do not have money to give people to go run their organizations. I think I do not have the, I do not have the manpower or capacity to be part of 20 organizations, like volunteer for an organization in Kibera, another one in Mathare, another one in Bungoma. I'm one person, I cannot do all those things. But through partnerships, Opportunity Desk Challenge provides this opportunity. So this year I was just like, okay, let me give it a try and see how that goes, and see how I'm able to create more opportunities for young people through CynthiaUNTAMED, but through a partner who's doing who's more well known, who has a bigger following, and who has more partners basically. So yes, so I'm one of the partners. I'm basically a media partner. So the purpose of this video is to ask you to actually participate in the challenge this year, Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge. I will leave the link here in the description bar below, so that you can also go and just click on it and just give it a try and see if the judges will also select your idea and see how that goes. So when you go look at the website, you'll see a lot of opportunities, but there's you getting featured on CynthiaUNTAMED. That's one of the opportunities. Then one of the other partners is going to provide some funding for you to travel to the Netherlands and get some training. So you guys, there's a lot of opportunities there, so just go and check it out. If you win in any of like the levels, I think there is 1, 2, 3, if you win in any of them, then you'll get some bit of opportunity. And this is when now I go back to you as a young person. When you're looking for opportunity, don't be biased. I don't know how to explain it, and maybe I'm also saying it from a privileged point of view, so forgive me if I am doing that. But the challenge I also see with young people is that if you're being given an opportunity and there is no money, I find that a lot of young people don't take that opportunity. And I'm usually like, okay, also gauge. Don't just take everything and anyone, also gauge whether that aligns to your purpose, whether that aligns to your goals, your vision, your objectives, your religion. Sometimes, maybe you'll get an opportunity and it's not aligned to your religion and your beliefs. If you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Buddhist, maybe it doesn't align to your beliefs. But don't always look at, you see an opportunity, you're like, I'm not getting money, so I'm not taking it. And I'm also not criticizing people who do this, but what I find beneficial for a young person is that when an opportunity comes, even if it's not like hard cash, even if it's not like funding for your organization, but if it's an opportunity and it's a good opportunity from a trusted and a trusted organization or a trusted business, something like really good, take it even if it's not cash. Just take it, because maybe that opportunity is now what will lead you to the cash. Because maybe when you put it on the CV and you apply for a job, you're like, oh, I'm a something from somewhere, and people are like, oh, that makes this person stand out, let us give them the job, you see. So don't be so biased. Don't just look at it, there's no money, so I'm not taking it. Let me tell you, that will really, really disadvantage you. And like I said, opportunity comes to people who have opportunities. So the more you have an opportunity, like let's say if it's a media feature, for example, people will see you. And you know what happens is when guys are pitching for funding, what happens is that people who do not know who to fund, they usually do a Google search, organizations run by young people in Africa. Then some organization appears and you're really well featured in the media, for example. That is just one example. Then they come to you after you get that funding. You know how it works is that you get the funding, you use it well, you are accountable for it, you become a trusted recipient. So some other organization will want to give you money because they will see how that works. So don't be so biased. Don't be like, if it's not money, I'm not taking it. No. And like I said, I think I might also be saying this from a point of privilege, because I also understand that not every young person has money to just take any opportunity that does not have money. So perhaps I will really target those people who you're not necessarily wealthy, but you can do with an opportunity that does not come with money. And when you start early, when you start like when you're in first year, when these opportunities build up, let me tell you, by the time you're graduating, you will actually have money. You will actually either have a job or something that gives you money. So don't be so biased. I think when you're biased, you limit yourself. And I'm not saying do not look for money. Guys, look for money. If you are doing a job, don't do it for free just because you're looking for an opportunity or you're looking for exposure. Be ready to show your value. If you think you're worth $100, say I'm worth $100, give me my $100, it's 10K. If you think you're worth $1,000, say pay me my $1,000. Look for that money, but also just gauge. If I get this opportunity, these are also the benefits that I will get. You have to gauge what gives you opportunity, even if it's not money. Basically, that is the whole point of this message. So do check out Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge 2021 and all the best. Thank you so much for tuning in to CynthiaUNTAMED. This is a youthful and educational platform where we have conversations with and about children and young people in Africa. You can follow me on Instagram at CynthiaOprah_Nyongesa, on Twitter at Cynthia_Oprah, on LinkedIn Cynthia Nyongesa. I'm on Facebook at Cynthia Nyongesa, and do check out CynthiaUntamed.com. Let me know if you have any more tips, any more opportunities that you'd want people to know. You can just leave them in the comment section below, and people will come and see that in the comment section. Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.